clear fire. Spin it well. Whole new level of chaos. But remember your purpose. Skymount won't hesitate to use them. He must be quick.
Castlevania Dominus Collection is a nostalgic treat and a must-play for fans of classic Gothic action. Each title in the bundle oozes atmosphere, with haunting music, tight platforming, and iconic boss battles that still hold up today. The pixel art remains timeless, and the challenge feels just right, tough but fair. It's clear these games were crafted with love, and the collection does a great job preserving that legacy. Whether you're revisiting or discovering them for the first time, this is vintage Castlevania at its best. One Finger Death Punch 2 is an intense action game that keeps reflexes razor sharp and adrenaline pumping. The one-button combat system is simple yet deeply engaging, turning each encounter into a pulse-pounding test of timing and precision. Enemy patterns grow increasingly clever, pushing skills further while maintaining addictive pacing. Clean visuals, hard-hitting sound effects, and rhythmic combat make each level exciting. Time flies as every fight feels satisfying, challenging, and rewarding, making it a title that hooks from the first clash to the last.
Whether you're a magician.
Lost Castle is a charmingly chaotic roguelike beat-em-up that blends retro visuals with frantic co-op action. Its randomized dungeons keep each run fresh, while a quirky cast of enemies and loot-driven progression fuel the fun. Combat feels satisfying with a wide variety of weapons and abilities to experiment with, especially when teaming up with friends. The humor and art style add a lot of personality, making each session enjoyable. This is a hidden gem for those craving fast-paced, light-hearted dungeon crawling. Gynoug slams into the screen with old-school energy and wild imagination. Enemy designs are freaky in the best way, with a non-stop parade of weird creatures and massive bosses. The soundtrack pounds with retro vibes, keeping the adrenaline high. Controls are sharp, and the power-up system keeps things intense without feeling unfair. It's a blast through chaos, with visuals that lean into their weirdness confidently. For anyone into arcade-style shooters, this one hits the sweet spot with style, challenge, and just enough madness to keep things fresh. ATOMIK RunGunJumpGun stands out with frantic momentum and a sharp sense of challenge that never feels cheap. Each stage pushes fast reflexes as the constant forward rush and dual-function gun mechanics create intense pressure. The neon visuals are bold and memorable, while the pulsing soundtrack keeps the pace fierce. Frequent retries feel motivating rather than frustrating, making every run addictive. This is arcade-style action that rewards focus, encourages persistence, and leaves a strong impression long after a session ends. Mighty Goose is a fast-paced run-and-gun shooter game in which players take on the role of the Mighty Goose, a competent bounty hunter who is pitted against the Void King, the galaxy's strong ruler. The game has a variety of weaponry, allies, upgrades, and hidden treasures. Players can tailor their strategy by utilizing upgrade chips, supplementary weaponry, and help characters. They may also pilot military machines to eliminate big groups of foes. The game's graphics feature finely produced pixel art environments, cars, and characters, transporting players to a lively realm. One More Dungeon packs retro charm with pixel art style and procedurally generated levels that keep each run fresh. The blend of first-person shooting and roguelike mechanics creates a fun challenge with just the right amount of pressure. Progression feels rewarding, and the enemies, though simple, keep players on their toes. It's easy to pick up, hard to put down, and offers just enough variety to keep things interesting. A solid pick for short bursts of dungeon crawling with a nostalgic twist. Replicator is an engaging action-adventure that keeps players on their toes. The fast-paced combat feels satisfying, with a variety of weapons and strategies to experiment with. Levels are designed with clever layouts that encourage exploration and reward curiosity. The story unfolds with intriguing twists, keeping interest high throughout. Enemies are challenging but fair, making victories feel earned. Fans of tactical gameplay and dynamic environments will find plenty to enjoy in this intense and inventive game. Orangeblood is a thrilling action RPG with fast-paced combat and a rich, mysterious world to explore. Each encounter tests strategy and reflexes, keeping players engaged and on edge. The pixel art and soundtrack complement the dark, immersive atmosphere, making exploration rewarding. Progression feels satisfying, with meaningful upgrades and varied enemies that keep gameplay exciting. Fans of challenging atmospheric games will find themselves drawn in and eager to uncover the secrets lurking around every corner. Exophobia is a fast-paced retro FPS that oozes 90s sci-fi charm with its pixel art and eerie alien-infested corridors. The gameplay feels tight and satisfying, especially with weapon upgrades that keep the combat fresh. There's a real sense of progression as you uncover secrets and backtrack with new abilities. The soundtrack and visuals create a tense, immersive atmosphere that keeps you on edge. Fans of Doom-style shooters will feel right at home. It's a nostalgic blast with enough modern touches to keep things feeling exciting and fresh throughout. Ni no Kuni 2, Revenant Kingdom Prince's Edition is a vibrant journey filled with heart and adventure. The story of Evan's rise to leadership is engaging, with memorable characters and clever kingdom-building mechanics that keep gameplay lively. Combat is dynamic, combining strategy and action in a satisfying way, while exploration rewards curiosity with hidden treasures and quests. The music complements the narrative perfectly, enhancing each moment. This edition adds valuable content that makes the world feel richer and more rewarding to explore.
The road ahead may be a long one, but at the end of it,
Semblance is a one-of-a-kind platformer game in which players must modify the world using flexible topography and a visually attractive minimalist environment. The game includes 3 separate planets, each with its own set of effects as a planet shifts and deforms. Players must defeat a mystery crystalline sickness by unleashing the world's vital essences and discovering its evil roots. The game's unique deforming platform gameplay allows players to change terrain to solve puzzles and advance through the levels. The basic visual style and vibrant African musical score enhance the immersion experience. The Library of Babel stuns with its atmospheric world and hauntingly beautiful art style. Every frame feels meticulously crafted, drawing players into a mysterious post-human future. The stealth mechanics are intuitive and rewarding, encouraging patience and precision. Paired with a haunting soundtrack and cryptic storytelling, the game captivates with its sense of discovery and unease. There's a deliberate pace that lets the world breathe, making each moment feel earned. A must-play for fans of philosophical sci-fi and rich, immersive worlds. Industrial Decay meets Fey mysticism and Rusted Moss, a striking platformer built around momentum and precision. Fern, a changeling torn between worlds, wields firearms and a grappling hook across ruined landscapes. Movement feels elastic and demanding, rewarding thoughtful positioning over careless leaps. Boss encounters escalate through intricate attack patterns requiring sharp reflexes and adaptability. Unlockable upgrades reshape combat rhythm and exploration routes. Gritty pixel art and a brooding electronic score reinforce its melancholic atmosphere throughout. The Tower of Perpetuity is a 2D action game set in the world of TOKOYO, where players must negotiate a continually shifting dungeon packed with evil monsters and traps. The tower regenerates every 24 hours, allowing players from all over the world to experience the same dungeon for a brief period. Each day brings new difficulties, including various traps and gimmicks. The game also includes social components, such as a cemetery honoring participants who have died. Players can use their unique powers to compete with other players in a friendly manner. Loadpunk Mayhem is a vertical shoot-'em-up that combines bullet hell anarchy and a cel-shaded look. Players may pick from 3 pilots, each with their own spacecraft and specialized armament, and destroy opposing vehicles as they navigate through post-apocalyptic stages. To keep going and scoring, they must acquire fuel, warp-enabled stopwatches, chain combos, and explosives. The game has a rigorous online leaderboard system that allows users to put their fighting abilities to the test. Players can pick between tanks, helicopters, armored aircraft, and monster vehicles. Infernal strategy returns with heightened ambition in Monster Train 2. Commanders defend a multi-level locomotive carrying sacred embers through hostile territory. Hard-driven battles reward careful placement and synergistic deck building across 3 vertical floors. New clans and upgrade paths deepen tactical variety between runs. Boss confrontations test foresight and resource management under pressure. Stylized hand-drawn art and a driving metal soundtrack reinforce the chaotic tone. A layered roguelike built on planning and decisive execution. Arranger, a role-puzzling adventure, is a narrative-driven role-playing game set in a tiny village where Gemma sets off on a quest for self-realization. The game has a unique linked grid that combines mobility, exploration, and fighting. Gemma's motions cause changes in the surroundings, resulting in a sense of disarray and complex riddles. The game is lighthearted with no experience points or inventory management, and it includes alternative challenges and assistance choices that allow players to adapt the complexity to their liking. Kero Blaster is a game in which you play as a bipedal frog working for CATO Inc. Their job is to repel enemies and negotiate a difficult terrain. Initially, the frog's low health and armament may present issues. However, as players collect and earn money, they may improve their health and select improved weaponry to battle formidable adversaries. The game's pleasure is increased by the characters you meet. Kero Blaster is a distinct and immersive setting that immerses players in the obstacles they confront. Surmount is a joyful climbing adventure that balances humor, challenge, and creativity in an addictive way. The physics-based movement feels unpredictable yet rewarding, making each ascent feel fresh and full of personality. Its colorful art and playful atmosphere create an uplifting mood, while the variety of routes and goofy characters keep every climb engaging. The sense of accomplishment from reaching new heights is consistently satisfying, making this a game worth returning to whenever the urge to test skill and laugh along the way kicks in.
We stopped counting the years after 1988.
A dystopian tower looms in Black Future 88, a relentless synth-punk roguelite built on speed and aggression. A lone punk climbs an infinite fortress, armed with brutal weapons and a ticking clock making every second count. Runs flow with chaotic momentum, rewarding sharp movement, weapon synergies, and instinctive room clearing under pressure. Diverse builds and unlockable modifiers encourage experimentation, while saturated pixel art and a fierce synthwave soundtrack amplify the energy. Boss fights demand precision.
Skymelt won't hesitate to use them. You must be quick.
CATO Buttered Cat takes a hilarious internet paradox and transforms it into a clever, brain-twisting puzzle adventure. Each stage plays with gravity in inventive ways, constantly challenging logic while keeping things fun and unpredictable. The clean art style and creative level design make every puzzle feel distinct and rewarding to solve. Its humor adds lighthearted energy that perfectly complements the challenge, creating a witty and memorable game that keeps players hooked from one clever puzzle to the next.